Hope everybody's good. It's Trish here with Fat Lady Crochet. Today we're going to talk about pricing. There are a few strategies when it comes to pricing your pieces and where you're selling and how you're selling. So we'll talk a bit about that. We're just going to skim the surface though. So if you're new to selling your pieces, then you need to figure out how you're going to sell your pieces. And really, one of the best ways is to see what other people are selling their pieces for. Now, this isn't perfect in any way, and there's no right or wrong, and there's no secret formula. It really comes down to you being comfortable with what you're charging. So, you'll go to a market, you'll see another crocheter. Maybe they have some pieces that are just outstanding and amazing and beautiful and unlike other things that you've seen before. And maybe they're charging more. But then you'll also run into a lot of very similar designs in crochet. So when people are first learning, some of those really easy designs, uh, it's not necessarily the bees anymore, but it was bees there for quite a while. Emotional support pickles, just those really simple and fun designs that are quick and easy to make. So you might see pieces like that, and leggy frog, mushrooms, those kinds of things. So those are quick and easy, and often people are using the big plushy yarn for those, so they don't take too long. The yarn can get expensive, so it is something you have to factor in. But you're probably not going to charge an arm and a leg for pieces like that. And really, if you're selling at a market, you want to have pieces that are pretty quick to make because you want to build your stock. So, and depending on where you are in the world, like where your community is, do they value handmade? Is there, what's the word? Is there disposable income? You know, looking at the market too, what sort of market is it? So who are the clients, who's coming in, who are the customers? So there's lots and lots of things to factor in. If you're selling online, um, prices tend to be a little higher, I find. So if you're selling on platforms like Etsy, or if you have a website, often those prices are going to be higher. And the reason that seems to be okay is because people will actually be kind of out there looking to shop, looking for something specific. So the pieces that are like the emotional support pickles, the bees, the leggy frogs, those pieces may not sell as well online as they would probably in person. I find that people are looking for more niche products online. So those pieces tend to command a higher price. So that's a couple, those are just a couple of little pricing strategies for you to think about. You do want to consider your time. You do want to consider the cost of materials. Make sure you cover those. And one thing that I always tell the people that I work with, don't subsidize your work. Don't undervalue it. You may not um, you may not get the prices that you want to start, but and you have to start somewhere. But make sure you're covering your costs and valuing your time. Another thing that I wanted to talk about today is if you're advertising on Meta, like so Instagram and Facebook, there is, and it's not new, but it might be new to you. There are hidden fees, Apple fees, if you're using your phone, your Apple phone, to set up the advertisements. So I think it's 20 or 30% that Apple will take. And what happens is they don't charge Facebook or Instagram for those fees. They charge you. So what that ends up doing is, say you have $100 to spend on your advertising. What happens is if you use your iPhone to set that up, Apple will take this fee, this 20 or 30% fee. I can't remember exactly what it is. So that means your advertising dollars are not $100. They're down to either $70 or $80. So you need to be aware of this. It's really important. And the way to work around it, it's a simple fix. You either go onto Facebook through a browser, not through the app, on your phone, or you use your computer, your desktop, and go from there. And then those fees aren't charged. Now, I believe that they're also doing something similar with Patreon. So if you support people on Patreon, just be aware of that as well. And I'm not totally sure because I am not on Patreon, and I don't follow anybody on Patreon, so I'm not exactly sure how it works. But I think are going to if you're going to sign up to follow someone on Patreon, it's better to use your desktop, because I believe they will get more bang for their buck, for your buck, and I think you get access to more things. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I believe that it's definitely something to check out, though. If you do follow somebody on Patreon, you might want to reach out to them and ask about that. The last thing I wanted to talk to you today about is a question that I get so often, and it's about my patterns for copyrighted characters. So I have grappled with this over the years, and I've got a lot to say about it. So we'll see where we go today with that. But the bottom line is that I create my patterns. You can tell that I love the characters because they're detailed, they're like accurate, they're beautifully made, and my patterns reflect that. So people that use my patterns to create the pieces, I'm really specific about where you do the placements. Like for instance, this little guy back here, I tell you between which rows to put that nose, or I tell you like where that chin needs to go and how to make it, kind of flattened a little bit. So I'm super clear. I really want people to make a wonderful piece. So the copyright issue. Um, why do fiber artists get targeted for this? So that I spend part of my year getting ready for Calgary Comic Con, and it is a huge comic convention. There are so many awesome artists there that are like traveling the world with their fan art. So they have these beautiful posters that they create of the cartoons they watch, of the anime, of rock stars, like just whoever they love, they create these things. So they don't get targeted. Um, what about tribute bands? What about impersonators? Like, why? What about tattoo artists? I'm not really sure why fiber artists get targeted the way we do, and I really find that it comes from fellow fiber artists who can be really mean. They say all kinds of things, so that are unkind and not seeking, clarification. So when I get a message from somebody genuinely asking about it, I tell them exactly what I've told you. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry that I love these characters. I'm not sorry that I love to design patterns that people can follow to create the characters. When I sell these characters, like at Comic Con or at my Christmas market that I was just at, the smiles are just awesome. Like people, it sparks beautiful memories, and they get really nostalgic and happy. And that's why I do it. Like I love that. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with you creating what you want to create. Let us be artists. Like, let us be, let's support each other. And it's cool. Like, if you don't want to, if you feel like weird or funny, that's okay. You don't have to. I'm not saying you need to, you know, go out and buy these patterns or anything like that. But I do want people to think about the double standards, maybe, or the inconsistency or the unfairness, or I'm not even sure what the words are. But if you're straight across saying no to these patterns, but you're not thinking about the other ways that humans, pay tribute to the characters and the memories that they love, like it's worth looking at. Well, that comes to the end of today's vlog. Thank you for joining. Again, if you have any questions, I would love for you to drop them in the comment section and we can talk about your questions. Anything to do with crochet or crochet business or even handmade business. I've got lots and lots of experience working with all kinds of women that are starting businesses. As well, I wanted just to point you in the direction of my website. If you are looking to buy patterns, please, I'd love it if you could go to my website. It's www.fatladycrochet.ca. And the reason why I want to point you in that direction is because I own my website and I own my domain, so I'm not having to pay extra fees. And secondly, because you can get better prices on the patterns from my website. So my prices will be changing in the new year. I will be doing some pretty drastic changes to my business and how I sell my patterns. But that's for in a few weeks. I'll kind of start to talk about that. So have a great rest of your day and happy hooking. See ya.